left to perish among monsters, an alien girl's life is saved by a human. The prison world of Varos, 7 was a place where hope went to die. It was not built to reform criminals, nor to house them humanely. It was a dumping ground, a scarred moon where the galaxy's worst were abandoned with no guards, no rules, and no escape. On Varos, survival was measured in days. That was where they threw Lyra. Chapter 1. The Child in the Pit. The dropship's hatch slammed open, and the guards shoved her out. She stumbled into the dust, coughing, her silver hair tangled across her face. She was only 12 by human reckoning, small and fragile, her green skin glowing faintly in the dim light of the dying sun. The guards laughed as they lifted off, leaving her behind. "Let's see how long the little alien brat lasts," one sneered. As the ship vanished, the shadows moved. From the wreckage of broken towers and jagged cliffs, figures emerged, convicts of 100 species, scarred, starving, and hungry. Their eyes fixed on the girl. A reptilian giant with bone spikes cracked his claws. "A child," he hissed. "Soft meat." A hulking insectoid clicked its mandibles. "No fight in that one. Quick meal." The circle closed. Lyra pressed against the rocks, heart pounding. She knew why she was here. The Empire had promised her father, leader of a failed rebellion, that she would be spared. Instead, they lied. This was her execution. The first monster lunged, and then a voice cut through the snarls. "Touch her, and you answer to me." Chapter 2. The Human. He stepped forward from the ruins, tall, broad-shouldered, his dark hair streaked with gray. His clothes were torn, his knuckles scarred, his left eye replaced with a crude cybernetic implant. The prisoners murmured his name. Dane Cross. A human. A killer. A survivor of 10 years on Varos. The reptilian sneered. "She is none of yours, human. Stand aside." Dane's single eye burned cold. "You want her? Try me." The brute roared and charged. Dane moved like a predator. His fist smashed into the reptilian's throat, crushing it. With a savage twist, he hurled the creature to the ground. When the others advanced, he tore a jagged steel bar from the ruins and swung it in a deadly arc, sending them scattering. The circle broke. "For now." Dane turned to the trembling girl. "On your feet. If you stay down, you're dead." She looked up at him with wide, tearful eyes. Why did you help me?" He shrugged, expression hard. "Because someone had to." Chapter 3. A Fragile Bond. From that day, Lyra followed him. Varos was a nightmare, endless storms of ash, creatures that prowled the canyons, convicts who hunted each other for food. Alone, she would not have lasted a night. Dane taught her how to scavenge from the ruins, how to tell which fungi were safe to eat, how to hide when gangs passed by. He gave her half his rations when she was too weak to walk. At first, he barked at her to keep her distance. He didn't want responsibility. He didn't want hope. But the girl's quiet persistence broke through the walls he had built. She started calling him Protector. He never corrected her. One night, as they sheltered in the wreck of an old shuttle, she whispered, "Why are you here? You don't seem like them." His jaw tightened. "I killed a man who deserved it. The Empire didn't care. They wanted an example. So they threw me here. And now you saved me," she murmured, curling against the cold. "Maybe you're not as broken as you think." Dane said nothing. But for the first time in years, he let himself sleep without one eye open. Chapter 4. The Blood Arena. Varos had no guards, but it had overlords, gangs that ruled the strongholds and demanded tribute. One of them, the Iron Fangs, seized Lyra while Dane was scavenging. They dragged her to their fortress, a broken stadium they had turned into a killing pit. Prisoners were forced to fight monsters for the amusement of the gang. When Dane came for her, he found her shoved into the arena, A terrified child facing a beast twice the size of an armored tank, a grathhound, all tusks and spines. The crowd roared. Dane leapt into the pit. The beast charged. Dane rammed a steel spear into its flank, rolling aside as tusks shredded the ground. He fought like a man with nothing left to lose, because he had already lost everything except her. The grathhound pinned him, claws tearing into his chest. Before it could kill him, Lyra screamed and hurled a shard of broken metal into its eye. Blinded, the beast reeled. Dane seized the chance, driving the spear deep into its throat. The monster collapsed in a spray of black blood. Silence fell. The crowd, shocked into awe, began to chant one name. Human! Human! But Dane only turned to the girl. She was crying, clutching his arm. "You came back," she whispered. "Always," he said hoarsely. Chapter 5. Escape. The Iron Fangs would not forgive his defiance. They hunted them across the ruins, sending packs of killers into the wasteland. Dane and Lyra ran for days, through storms that stripped skin raw and canyons filled with predators. They grew thin, desperate. Dane's wounds festered. But still he carried her when her legs gave out. At last, they reached the old launch craters where ships had once landed before Varos became a prison. Most were scrap, but one, half-buried, still had power. Dane forced open its hatch, coughing in the stale air. "If I can get her engines online," he muttered, "we're leaving this hell." Lyra tugged his sleeve. "We? You mean us? Together?" For the first time in years, Dane smiled. "Yeah, together." They worked for days, scavenging parts, hiding from hunters. And when the gangs finally cornered them, they fought side by side. Dane with steel and fury, Lyra with cunning traps and desperate courage. By the time the ship's engines roared to life, the Iron Fangs lay broken in the dust. Chapter 6. The Protector and the Heir. The stars opened before them. Lyra pressed her face to the viewport, eyes shining. She was free. Dane sat at the controls, battered, bleeding, but alive. "You could leave me," she said softly. "You've done enough." He shook his head. "Not happening. You're my responsibility now." She hesitated, then whispered, "My father was a leader." "They'll come for me, Dane. I'm not just some girl. I'm the heir of a cause. If you stay with me, you'll be hunted forever." Dane leaned back, staring at the stars. "Kid, I was already hunted. The only difference now is I've got someone worth fighting for." She reached for his hand. For the first time since her capture, she felt safe. Not because the monsters were gone, but because she wasn't alone anymore. Epilogue. The Legend. In the years to come, whispers spread across the galaxy. Of a human warrior and an alien girl. Of a protector and an heir. Of two souls who escaped Varos, 7 and lit a spark against the Empire. They said she grew into a leader who carried her people to freedom. And they said he never left her side, because once, on a world of monsters, he chose to save her. And that choice changed the fate of them both.